Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this very special online meeting of ours this Tuesday. So let us begin with a prayer addressed to the principle of grace. So we invoke the grace of the Masters. You can take a moment to be centered in the heart in an attitude of prayer. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरम् तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुवे नमः। We bow down in obeisance to all the masters from all traditions, from all levels of existence. So once again, a very warm welcome to each one of you. We have a very special speaker in our teacher, I will say, in our midst, Radha. And she is going to speak to us about graphology and the use of graphology. I must tell you that I have seen her often in some of the teaching events of Guruji Prem Nirmal, but I never had a chance to really meet her individually and speak to her. And this occasion arose yesterday when we spoke to each other on phone for a while. And apart from the qualifications as a teacher that she has, I just asked her, please tell me something about yourself. And she narrated her life story. What an inspiring lady Radha is. You see, there are a lot of people who are born in very challenging circumstances, who lead their lives or grow up in an environment where they do not feel supported. They cannot even pursue their studies because of their challenges, despite being very good in studies. And very early in life they have to start working doing jobs, whatever one gets his or her hands on to sustain themselves. They are unable to complete their education. And all these things Radha has faced. And yet, the amazing part is that she has come into her own. And spirituality basically is about coming into one's own, finding one's own calling. I was reminded of my own wife. She was an actress. And she went into spirituality, and after about a year, she dropped acting, which was her first love. Because it so happened, I found it very unusual, but she had found her calling. So, in the same way, Radha has been doing things, a lot of things. She told me that she has done a lot of jobs in many sectors, many corporations, and yet there came a point of time because of her daughter, she was introduced to graphology. And somehow or the other, right on day one, she took it to heart. She was a very sincere student. Even when she had completed the course, she kept her contact with her teacher or guru, going to his place every Sunday, working long hours assisting him. And this is a perfect example that when you get connected to the Master through devotion, then transmission starts happening. The Master, for whatever he or she stands for, begins to distill himself inside the disciple. And this is what happened to Radha. And the Master was a hard taskmaster. He would not permit people to teach. But when she told him that she wanted to teach, he sent his blessings. And the very first time she did something, the kind of response she got was phenomenal. And this is how the journey began, because graphology is not so much about some mundane activity of reading handwriting. It is about going into the subconscious mind of a person through handwriting, finding out the patterns which are blocking him or helping him, what are one's strong points and what are the not so strong points, and helping that person on the path in life. So this is what happened to Radha, and Radha met Guruji Dr. Premji Nirmal and Guruma Bharti Nirmal about 10 years ago. Am I right, Radha?
Yes,
Yes,
2012.
about 10 years ago, and she has been, like the sincere seeker or student she was with her graphology master. She has been a very sincere seeker and student with Guruji Dr. Premji Nirmal and Guruma Bharti Nirmal. And it was Guruma who just, sort of egged her on to take up teaching graphology. So when Radha teaches graphology, she is doing the Guru Seva. She is carrying out the command given by the Master. So listening to all this was a very uplifting experience. And I am sure that true seeker that Radha is will come forward, or we will discover her more as she starts speaking about her topic. I won't stand between her and the audience. So Radha, it's all yours. Most welcome. We are so glad to have you here. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Brahma Prakash ji. That was a wonderful introduction.
You're most
And,
welcome. You deserve it.
and gratitude to you all the masters, Guruji and Guruma. And let us start. Let the master speak. I am just the medium. Okay, Hema, you can just put on the first slide. Welcome to the world of graphology. Now, what is graphology? Next slide. The meaning of graphology is understanding the science of handwriting. That means graphology is a science of understanding the characteristics of a person through understanding the strokes of handwriting. That strokes of handwriting are the pictures of your subconscious mind, the deep thoughts, the patterns you are carrying. We read those strokes and understand your subconscious mind. Certain times it so happens during analysis, people say, how did you know this? I haven't told this to anyone, nor have I written this in this paper that I have given, the sample that I have given. But we understand, because however careful you are, your subconscious mind will give us the picture that is there about yourself, how you respect your parents, how you handle your life situations, how is your health, how is your wealth, how is the relationship, the interpersonal relationship that you carry out in day-to-day life. Next slide. As I told, we understand the subconscious patterns through the strokes of your handwriting. Any letter, there is a stroke. The way you write, the formation of letters, everything tells us about yourself, about the way you are brought up. Your experiences made you so. Every one of us, the way I am brought up, the way I have perceived certain things in my life, the way my mother taught me, her intention might have been different and my perception might have been different. My perception will be reflecting in my handwriting. Next. Here comes our brain into the picture. Handwriting is brain writing. How is it possible? We are writing with our hand, but the control of your hand is in the brain. Next slide. See, every part of our body, whether it is internal, whether it is external, it is given a specific space in the brain. Out of that specific place in the brain, the fingers are having the maximum space. The brain tells you to carry out all the voluntary and involuntary actions. So is writing. When you feel like writing, the brain sends a message that you have to write. You think of taking a pen, you think of having a paper, and you start writing. It is the command of the brain that you are fulfilling. And you know, the brain is controlled by the mind. Brain is the hardware and mind is the software. And breath is the bridge between the mind and the brain. The moment the breath is not there, the bridge is broken, the mind goes away. Then it is only the hardware which is of no use. Next slide. Next slide. Now look here. Whenever a thought occurs, there are billions of brain cells. They interact with each other. When they interact with each other, there are impulses that are produced. They are electrical impulses. And these impulses are sent to the hand. Next slide, you can just go on. I'll tell you to stop. These impulses that are sent to the fingers are our innermost thoughts. They will be imprinted on the paper as dots, lines, curves, loops, angles, etc. And all these create a graph on the paper. And that graph is known as handwriting. Now, how does it travel? It travels through the nervous system. Nervous system is the channel through which the thought travels to the fingers while we write. Okay. Now, interpretation of this graph is known as handwriting analysis. Handwriting analysis is nothing but the interpretation of the graph that is seen on the paper by a graphologist. You know, handwriting involves the entire brain. It's a fine motor skill. It is linking all the parts of the brain. Now you can stop one moment. All the parts of the brain with the spinal cord. That is how the message is sent. Now, if you see the hardware and the software, now you will see, I said handwriting is brain writing. The moment you put the pen on the paper, there is a dot. If you create a line, we call it a line, but understand that they are a series of dots. It can be in a vertical, with a vertical movement. It can be in a, what do you say, angle. It can be in whatever shape. It can be a sleeping line. It can be a slanting line. It can be a standing line, or it can be a curve. It can be an angle. It can be a loop. Everything is brain writing. It is just the brain. See, we talk so much. Within this much time, you may write a sentence. A sentence or a word is a series of thoughts. Every letter is a thought. And if you make a word, it is a series of thoughts that is creating a word. So when you are writing, your mind, your breath, your brain, your nervous system, your spinal cord, and finally your hand is involved. It is just not writing. It is not whether it is looking nice or whether it is not looking nice, whether it is appropriate. That is what it is. Your mind is reflected the way you write. Now, this is love. You can have love towards yourself. Self-love is very important. And love, if you have self-love, it is radiated towards everyone. Whether it is your spouse, whether it is your parents, whether it is your child, anyone and everyone unconditionally. Next slide. See, if somebody is having a loving family, their thoughts will be very different. And their handwritings also will be very different. Every handwriting is unique. See, why it is unique? Just because when a thought occurs and when that electrical impulses, that electromagnetic mechanical system works, it is very unique in every individual. That is why every individual has a different type of writing, different type of formation. See, we are taught in a particular way in school to write. Are we writing the same way? No. We don't write the way we are taught in schools. There are so many ways we can write. One letter A can be written in many ways. One letter I, the dotting of I, can be in various ways. The crossing of T, it can be anywhere on the stem, or it can be above the stem, or some people, they don't even cross the T. Everything is reflecting their subconscious mind. Everything is reflecting their character. Next slide. Children are supposed to be mentally and physically happy. How can a child be mentally and physically happy? Only when the child is given enough love, the child is given enough freedom. The love and the freedom both are important. Love does not mean that pampering. You are not supposed to give anything and everything to the child. There are certain restrictions the child may not understand. We have to be very careful. Children come through us, but they are not ours. They have their own individual qualities. They are unique. So we just can't impose our opinions on them. Let them choose. Let them have their freedom. Let them be butterflies. Let them fly. If you can give the freedom and the love, unconditional love and freedom, the child will fly. Next slide. Now see how a positive brain creates a positive mind creates a positive brain. A positive brain is always illuminated. It will not have any patches where the light is not going. Positivity and love are lights that creates a positive mind. When you have a positive mind, your brain will create a positive picture. And you will always be enthusiastic. You will always be appropriate. You may not be right or you may not be wrong. Appropriateness is very important. Right now, what I say is appropriate for this moment. It may change. It may not have been appropriate maybe in the past. Next slide. Look at this. If arguments are happening in front of the children, the child becomes sad. The child will never ever feel like disclosing things to you. They will never be open to you. All these things are seen in the writing. Next slide. See, negligent parents. These parents, they are not doing it purposely. These two children are small and this girl is a little older. But what does the girl feel? The girl feels she is neglected. That is the reality for her. So her handwriting will show something different. These people's handwriting will show something different. Similarly, in this age, when the entire family members are sitting together, the parents might be busy with their laptops or phones, and the children wants their attention. So they will seek negative attention, and that can be seen in the writing. Next slide. Now, dysfunction of the mind creates distortion in pictures. Just see how it is. This is a distorted mind on thorns. and see how the picture is created, all chaos. All the distorted thoughts will be seen as chaos. The picture will show something like this. Next one. See, these are some ideal way to write the letters. A, T, S, T and H. All the letters have their own meanings. All the letters, the way you have written it, will have different meanings. See, this T can be crossed anywhere. This S this portion can be smaller or larger. This portion also can be smaller or larger. There can be a stroke here. There can be a loop here. This can be disconnected. This can be connected. This can be extended. This can be just one stroke and one crossbar. Everything has a different meaning. I teach about 57 types of T and around 30-35 types of I. Every letter there are variations, and some of them are documented. See, after learning graphology, when I started analyzing graphology, handwritings, that was the time I understood that every individual, so many trillions of individuals in the world, and everyone will have a different stroke. Whatever I have not learned, even I found certain formation of certain letters in certain handwritings. Next. See, graphology is nothing new. We in India have everything. This is mentioned in Atharva Veda. It is mentioned as Kaiyeluthu Shastra. Kai means hand. Eluthu means writing. And Shastra means science. So Kaiyeluthu Shastra means the science of writing. Now, what is graphology? It is the science of determining characteristics of a person by reading and understanding his subconscious mind that is reflected in the writing. In Dasbodh of Ramdas Swami, again, there are some pages where handwriting is mentioned, how it is to be written, how important it is to have the right kind of writing. Now, when you learn, 1 minute, the previous slide, when you learn handwriting, what happens is you understand yourself. You understand your programs, how you are programmed, how the pattern of your mind is, why there are certain things happening in your life, why you are not able to get along with some people, why you get angry on certain things. Everything is reflected in your writing. Now, this is the signature of a musician, the first one. Now, see, he has drawn a piano here. What does that mean? This person is a pianist, and he has drawn the piano here. That means this person is earning a living by playing the piano. Here again, this is the signature of football player Pele. Look at its signature. There is a football here. That means this person is so passionate about football, and he likes to be known as a football player. That's there in the brain. That's there in the mind. And this is the signature of a terrorist. And you know what this is? This is a Sten gun or a machine gun. And this person likes to use high-end or high-tech machine guns, and this person wants to be known as a person who is expert in using those. That is his passion. This is his passion, and this is his passion. And they all want to be known with what their passion is. That is how the signature has come like that. I have not seen Rahul Dravid's signature, but in one of the class, somebody had mentioned that whenever he signs, there is a bat. He draws a bat. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Next one. Look at this signature. This is not at all clear. This we call illegible signature. People with illegible signatures generally don't like the world to know what they are, how they are, and what is their profession, what is their occupation, whatever it is, whatever. They are not at all transparent. They hide everything. Here the signature is very clean. However, see, look at the A. It is crossed in the middle. It's crossed a little extra on the left and a little extra on the right. This has a different meaning. The underscore has a different meaning. Here there is a dot. This has another meaning. And this person has crossed the G. That also has a different meaning. If I analyze this signature, I'll say that this person has undergone a surgery somewhere around the abdominal area, or someone in this person's family must have gone in for a major surgery. This person is confident, but the problem is it's difficult for him to keep relations, interpersonal relations, especially with the spouse. And this person is very particular about things. He will do everything on time. As it is, this person is clean and transparent. He has nothing to hide. Whatever he is at home, he is the same in the society. Next slide. Okay, now graphologists are trained professionals who analyze handwriting and signature. Next slide. These are the advantages. The previous one. The previous slide, please. You understand yourself. If you are not married, you can understand, if you're married, you can understand your spouse better. If you understand yourself better, you can understand your spouse better. If you're not married, if you can select someone who will be compatible with your nature. When you understand yourself, when you understand your spouse, you can understand your child better. If you're a businessman or a person who is into HR, you can recruit the right staff for the right position. If you want to do a business, you can select the right business partner. See, everywhere you will understand the person. You can understand whether the person will be a follower or a leader, or he can be put in the middle management. Whether this person will only understand, only follow the rules. Every day the same thing, the same beaten path, he will not get bored. That nature also can be seen from the handwriting, whether you are stubborn, whether you are flexible, whether you are intelligent, whether you get angry, whether you are irritated within yourself, or you are irritated with others. Everything can be seen and known from the handwriting. Of course, You can know your health issues, the heart issues, why certain ailments are running in the family, gynec issues. Gynec issues and heart issues are almost heredity. Everyone, it is followed by somebody in the family. Whether somebody is bedridden in your family, whether you have dental problems, everything can be seen from your writing. We can understand all these things. Whether you are a good cook, yes, you can understand whether you are a good cook. And we can also understand that whether you are proud of your cooking. Yes, next slide. This is used in all the by police department and the court of law for determining the crimes, fraud, burglary, etc., etc. Next. Okay. Now, every external growth of an individual is a result of internal growth. Okay. Unless you learn and grow internally, the outside growth does not happen. When you grow internally, you become a better human being. When you are a better human being, everything falls in place and we grow externally in almost all dimensions of life. And the main 3 dimensions of life are health, wealth, and relationship. Learning graphology will help you to grow internally and externally. Once these 3 things are taken care of, health, wealth, and relationship, the other dimension will fall into place. The next one. Next slide.
There is no slide.
Okay. Now, as human beings, we are a combination of male and female energy, the ova and the sperm. Yeah, unless there is a combination of these 2, we are not manifested. The manifestation of me is a thought that my parents had. So everything is manifested grossly only after there is a thought. So what kind of thought is going on in your mind? That will be manifested in your life. We all are, to a great extent, slaves of our thoughts. That means the slaves of our subconscious mind. We say you respect your parents. How can you respect your parents if you don't respect yourself? Because your parents are present in your body as ova and sperm, and their parents are present in that ova and that sperm. So we all are coming with so much of sanchita karmas of many past lives. And that is what is manifested as our character. It is a thought first, and then it is a word, and that word becomes an action. Then action becomes habit, and a series of habits are our character. And this programming of our mind starts from the day we are conceived. That is the reason why we say all the pregnant ladies are to be kept happy, because whatever the lady thinks, the child will get. So all these things, before we come to this planet Earth, is there in the unconscious mind. And once we come out, there are triggers, and those triggers will help the unconscious mind to bring things to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind will manifest it. It is always the thought. See, there is a Sanskrit sloka that is Tvameva mata pita tvameva bandhu sakha tvameva vidya dravidam tvameva sarvam mama deva devo. When we say that, when I say that, it is tvameva. Tvameva means you. It is, I'm not talking, this is told to a student by the guru. That means you are everything. Your mother, your father. You are your mother, you are your father. You are your brother or sister, sibling, and you are your friend. You are your education or knowledge or wisdom, and everything is in you. The wealth you are earning is, it's you who are earning. Everything is you and you only. So just don't point out fingers to anyone. It is all you, nobody else. Whatever you think, whatever you talk, whatever you do, everything will be manifested. Everything is a trigger. All the diseases we get, you mean to say it is in our body? We can get everything. Only a thought is needed. The accidents, only one thought. See, to see in the gross level, he lost the balance. There is a thought somewhere that I am losing the balance, or I may lose the balance. That thought is manifested. Sometimes one thought that was a childhood thought might be manifested at the age of 50. Whatever you have seen as a child, as a 8-month-old, 7-month-old, 6-month-old, the same thing might, how it affects how you perceive that will manifest in your life. I have seen that manifesting in many people's life. I have analyzed more than 12,000 handwritings. And I'll tell you an example. I had a junior student, and he called me to his house one day and he told, you talk to my mother. I don't have father. I said, okay. And one day he took me to his house. So the mother was widowed at the age of 27. And this boy does not have even the memory of the father. She wrote in a paper and gave me. And the boy told, ma'am, you analyze, because if I analyze, I don't know, she is my mother. I said, okay. No, while analyzing, I found that I asked her questions. She said she was widowed at the age of 27. I asked her, was it a love marriage? She said no. Then I asked, was it a arranged marriage? She said yes. And then she said that I was not interested in that marriage. The man was much older to me, but it was very, very difficult for me. He was in Gujarat and I was in Mumbai. And it was very difficult for me to get along. And ultimately, we thought of divorcing. And that man who was coming from Gujarat to Mumbai, on the way, on the road, by road, he met with an accident and he passed away. Then I asked her, did you have somebody whom you loved, you adored? Have something like that? Somebody in your family who was widowed at the age of 27? Then she said yes. She said, when I was around 14, 15 years old, one of my aunt was widowed. She was very beautiful and very graceful. And she used to wear that white clothes. And I used to adore her in that clothes. See, when that manifested, how deep it goes. This is a sad story. There are many other stories. A girl who just dreamt of a house that was a 1-bedroom hall kitchen at the age of, say, around 12, 13, and it got manifested at the age of 37 or 40. See, such things happens. So mind is very, very strong. Whatever goes into the subconscious mind, whether it is positive or negative, the moment it gets a trigger, it will manifest. It may be good, it may be bad. But that is appropriate at that point of time. Any questions? Any questions, please?
Radha, it is very interesting. You just go ahead and share some more examples. It's really wonderful.
What more examples? Ask me questions. When you ask questions, more insights will come. Please.
You shared one signature of a person who was
Yes.
in very straight letters, and you said he's a transparent man, but he has crossed the A, and then he has underlined the signature, and there is a dot. You said there is an interpretation to the underlining and also the dot.
Yes.
So could you elaborate on that?
Underlining, the underscores are of many types. Anywhere there is an underscore, a clear underscore, that means that person is confident.
I didn't get it. What did you say?
Underscore. It is known as underscore in graphology. And any underscore that is clear, that means that person is confident.
Confident. Okay. And the dot?
And the dot, there are so many. And that particular dot, that means that person is very particular about things. This one.
Okay. No,
Very particular about things. That means that person will will be disciplined, will have his food, will have whatever is necessary, that person will be very particular to have it on time.
Okay.
Whether it is food, whether it is dressing, going anywhere, anything in life.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Now,
Can I ask a question?
yes, yes. I'm just
Uh,
waiting.
yeah, ma'am, my name is Uma, and just in that presentation that you just showed, I have the habit of always underlining, underscore, what you call it, and the dot.
Hmm.
And I was told I should stop doing it.
Why?
He said, when you're doing that, you are stopping yourself from moving ahead.
In signature?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
This was a message. I mean, understanding given to me way back in the
Where are you?
1980s.
Where the dot is put? That is very important. Is it after the underscore?
Yeah, after the underscore.
In line with the underscore?
In line with the underscore, but my underscore would never be straight. It would be at an angle, an ascending angle.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, so I was told I should stop putting the dot after that underscore.
Are you
You're
particular
limiting
about things?
yourself.
Now, answer my question. Are you particular about things?
Yes, very.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And I have been trying to stop putting the dot, but I'm not able to stop it. It's
No,
20
don't
years
stop it.
now.
It's good.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Next question.
Yes, come in.
Interactive sessions are more interesting.
Aditi, you need to switch on your video so that I can pin you. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes. Ask me question.
Yes, madam. It was very interesting actually session. And my daughter is here with Mika Manika. She is very much interested and she listened it today. And she
Okay.
has a question that everything that comes to our subconscious mind, does it get manifested? That's what she wants to ask.
How strong it is. How strong it is.
No, because like
See, as far as I am concerned, I was from a very poor background. My parents were not rich or not even well-to-do. We were staying in a chawl. So one of our relative had a one-bedroom hall kitchen. So whenever relative means distant relative. So whenever we used to go there, I used to feel that that is the end of everything. That is the big thing that can happen. So whenever I used to go there, I used to feel that. I don't know, but I didn't know whether I'll be able to buy a house anywhere in my life. But today I have it. Today I have one-bedroom hall kitchen, and I think we came here when I was around 37, 38.
So right.
Another example. Ours was a intercaste marriage, mine. So there was a lot of chaos. Once I was married, I was taken to my husband's family. There was a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, a lot of things going on. My brother-in-law's child was 8 months old. Yeah. So all of you might think that what the child will understand, right? When he was 30, he did the same thing. He got married. See, I am married to a Christian. This boy got married to a Hindu girl with the name Reshmi. I am Radha.
Oh. Okay.
There are n number of examples, but it is better if I quote myself because that is more believable.
So can we
What is-
analyze?
What is your thought that you want to manifest?
In what way exactly?
In what way, you know?
I'm actually not trying to manifest anything, but maybe in childhood, maybe certain things, like I had a toxic group of friends. So my instincts had grown into like that because of the school friends. But now when I get healthy friends, I'm always worried like whether I'll end up again manifesting the same set of friends because of that mindset.
Doubt. Delete. Your handwriting will say that.
She has taken out points of what you were saying. She has a diary. Whatever new she learns, she keeps writing. So she
Good.
just got points on her own, and she wanted to ask this question, but she said, "No, you come. You are in the group. You ask the question. I'll sit aside." So I just wanted to ask.
Ji, take a fees from her for pushing her mother forward to ask her questions.
One more thing I wanted to ask is, can we analyze if certain person is behaving properly for some time and all of a sudden the behavior changes? Okay, I mean, you can make out the behavior has changed to a great extent. Can we get the details of it, why and all from that handwriting of a person?
Many things, many things. I have to see the handwriting. Before that, I can't. Because, you know, there are people who write very inconsistently. Whenever there is inconsistency, there is behavior problem.
Okay.
They will be good now, they will be bad then. Then they will be moderate. Then they will be good. Then they will be moderate. Then they will be... See, this pendulum happens. And most of the time, such people will have inconsistency in their blood. Sometimes red cells are more, sometimes white cells are more. There are some certain things. Inconsistency in the blood.
Okay, chalo, ye mere liye acha point ho gaya.
Aditi is a doctor.
Oh.
Something new for me
Yes.
too.
Yeah, I wanted to share on this aspect of inconsistency because my mother was a Parkinson's disease patient. And I used to make her write every day. And from her writing in the morning, I knew what was her mental condition on that particular day. Because when she would write, I could make out how much the brain was affected on that particular date. And I was able to realize what would be her reaction through the day. So yes, handwriting really helped me on that.
And Parkinson's, mother very stubborn.
We never felt that she was stubborn, but from her towards the end, when she started writing, we realized she was stubborn.
She was stubborn. Otherwise, she will not get Parkinson's. The more stubborn you are, see, all the joints are for movements. What is stubbornness? Stubbornness is not moving. Whether it is from your ethics, whether it is from your behavior, whether it is your relationship, whatever. It's non-flexibility. Life is flowing. We have to flow with the life. It's like water. In whichever glass, mug, the water shapes that shape. Water takes that shape. Similarly, our behavior also must be flexible. Everywhere, everything is not possible. So if you are not flexible, if you are stubborn, you tend to get some or other joint problems, and the extreme is Parkinson's.
I think I should take a class of you for this now. It will help me for getting my patients.
Yes. Many doctors learn.
Because this is something very interesting, which I never had an idea. Ki, handwriting analyzing for knowing a person's perspective or nature and all, I was aware of, but awareness of
we see something. See, for example, I'll tell you, if you have a friend and you you are very close to that friend and the friend's family, and you know her mother and her father as very good people, right? Okay, now you take her handwriting and you just look at that handwriting. You will feel that what is this? Because that is her perception. She is unique. She knows them as a mother and a father. You know them as your friend's father and mother.
Perspective.
Your perception is your reality. My perception is my reality. Now, today, whatever I am talking, my intention is something, and if you are understanding in a different way, that is your perception. You will show that. That's how we are all unique. Our thought patterns are different. See, there is a mind. It is a universal mind, and whatever frequency we vibrate, our antenna will pick up those type of thoughts. And those thoughts are for us, only mine.
Yes.
Yeah. Then that will be according to your sanchita karmas. So that it comes to the prarabdha and you face it.
Correct. Right.
Okay. So it is all, everything is this. You and you only.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any more questions? We have a lot of time. Come on, come on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Can you let us know more about the disease and the personality? Like if you have depression, what type of personality you have, or arthritis, or some other this thing, so that we come to know that how not to behave, or how can we change ourselves.
You change your thoughts.
Nenu, you
Your writing
start
will
your
change.
video so that we can pin you.
Pardon me?
You start your video so that we can pin you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So I wanted to know if their relation, like you had told about Pakistan, same way if you can tell us about some other diseases also.
There are so many things you have to change your attitude towards life. First and foremost thing is your thought has to change.
Okay.
See, if you have a habit of talking that using words that will hurt others, you will definitely end up with some throat problems.
Okay.
See, it is the chakras. It is our chakras. Vishuddhi chakra, if you are using it right, Vishuddhi chakra will give you health of Vishuddhi chakra. If you are using it to hurt others, then naturally it will hurt you. See, whatever
Like my
we
mom
say,
had,
whatever we think, everything is a vibration that is sent to the universe, and it will resonate, and that will reflect in your writing. Now, can I
like my mother has developed dementia lately. So what type of nature do you think it has caused this?
dementia means she is not remembering things, right? Who is that asking? Can you switch on
That's
the video?
Ninu. That's Ninu Jain only.
Nenu
She's
only is asking.
spotlighted.
Okay. Dementia is you lose your memory, right? In dementia, that is what
Yeah,
happens.
it's a initial stage itself. My mother, pardon me?
Yes, I can't hear you.
Yeah, my video is switched on.
No, Nenu, your audio is not clear.
Huh.
We can't hear you properly.
Dementia means you lose the memory, right? You don't remember things. Is doctors can answer? Dementia is that?
Yes, dementia is that only.
Yeah. That means there is no proper blood supply to the brain. The blood supply to the brain is not appropriate. It is not going with the force that is needed to reach the top, because the heart is here and the blood is pumped. If it is pumped, it has to go with force. Then only it will reach the nook and corner of the brain. Dementia will happen that way only. And if you have a habit of reading and writing, not typing on the computer or laptop, writing with your hand, your memory remains the best. Now, many people ask me in this era of computers, how reliable or how important is handwriting? See, when you write on the paper, you exert a certain amount of pressure at times. Some people exert a certain amount of pressure, some of them don't. But when you write, you are letting go of many of your emotions, many of your sentiments, many of your resentment. So you are clear. But when you are typing, it's not flexing, it's not extending, it's not turning, nothing is happening. It is just doing this.
This is a great insight.
Regular writing is a brain exercise.
I think Nishi wanted to ask a question. Nishi, you wanted to ask something?
Sir, I will take after Anju.
Okay, after
Anju,
Anju.
go ahead.
Okay, Achu.
Unmute yourself.
And there are two kind of writing. Like few people write, their letters are rightward tilted. Few write, their letters are leftward tilted, and few of them write straight. What is the meaning of these different writings?
You learn graphology, you will understand so many types of slangs. This comes in
Yes.
slangs. You will have to learn. This is not a small subject. I have to explain. See, if it is having a forward slang, that means that person is approachable. Forward slang to what degree? That is important. Straight means that person is head over heart.
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am.
And a person who is having a left slant means that person will not be comfortable with people, may not mix up with people.
Is it that the leftward slant makes you more intelligent?
You told? Intelligence and
somewhere.
slant has got nothing to do. It is like spirituality and religion. Religion and spirituality has no relation.
Okay.
Similarly, slant and intelligence has no relation. Yes, Deepa.
Thank you. Actually, I missed a part of the session because I was trying to find in somewhere else. But I have something called essential tremor. So now my handwriting is all broken.
I didn't understand.
See, I'm 68-7. I have essential tremor, so my hands are not steady. So now my handwriting is all broken and I am avoiding writing. I am typing only, but when I write, the words are not properly formed. I was wondering, is there some way I can try to change my handwriting to improve my medical condition or other conditions?
See, age is not a factor. I am 64, completed. I'll complete it next week. So, age has got nothing to do with writing or things like that. You can be healthy at any age and you can just go. So, age has got nothing to do with that. We may slow down a little. It all depends upon your mental status. If now you said you are not writing.
Yes, because my hands tremble.
That is because you have any other complaints?
I have diabetes, I have blood pressure, I have fatty liver, arthritis.
So you are worried about that. You are worried about your health. That is why your hand is shaking. Otherwise, your hand should not shake. Control your diet, improve your lifestyle, see whether you are breathing right. All these things will help you in every aspect of your health. And think positive thoughts. You are worried always about your health. Your face says so.
Yes. Actually, when you were saying that, we imagine things, the thoughts we have. So somehow my mother, she would be playing all these sad songs and we would be reading all tragedies, Thomas Hardy, etc. So I think I've willed my life to be a tragedy sometimes after years.
Yes, it happens. Yes, correct. Yes.
So how to get out
this
of
is true.
Now it is too late.
Start watching this Mickey Mouse. Start watching Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
Just laugh.
Yes.
So that when you are laughing, see, when you are laughing and when you are laughing loud, you are throwing out so much of carbon dioxide, toxic air from your lungs, and you don't get time to think.
Okay.
Tom and Jerry.
Yes, Tom and Jerry is the best out of them.
Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, Charlie Chaplin, any comedy show.
Okay.
Anywhere you can just laugh.
Just can I do something with my writing or trying to write?
Go on writing. Go on writing. And tell yourself that it's just a change. I am safe. Tell that and go on writing. The more you write, the more your brain cells are exercised.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Someone else also wanted to ask something?
Yes, Nishi ma'am, please go ahead. Unmute yourself.
I have two questions. One you have partly answered. One is with some effort, you can change your handwriting or like underlining the signature or dots where you put the dots and all that. Will it change the personality also of the person if you change the handwriting or the signature?
Example, sitting here.
Merely by writing, change of writing.
See,
and
first it is the thought. You have to have that thought in the mind that you want to change. And you should decide what you want to change. And then start practicing. I was not like this. Not at all. I was a person who was always irritated and frustrated. I was a person who will get angry on the, even if a drop of water falls, a pin drop will enough for me to get all flared up. But not anymore.
And
because,
you said
I practiced almost, my letter was, when I learned handwriting analysis, I understood what pathetic mindset I am having. Everywhere anger, everywhere. And in some places, if you can't express it, it is expressed at home, especially to your children. And now I know what was happening and how it happened. And see, the thing is, you will change, but you don't expect others to feel that you have changed, because they have a picture of yours in their mind, especially the close ones. You change for yourself. Don't change for anybody else. I have changed. My handwriting is entirely different now. we have to have that attitude and that faith that we want to change and we will change.
And
where, what, every letter has certain things. See, many of the things, many of us, we are born here to nullify our karmas, nullify the grudges that we carried or we are carrying. And we will be born to a family where these things are possible. However, we don't understand that because we are under the veil of Maya, or we are slave to the subconscious mind. So everywhere you will get the poking, you will get the trigger, but you must understand this is a trigger. That does not mean that you should agree to everything. You have to be assertive, but you don't need to be aggressive.
I would say sometimes it is easier to control or to maybe change your behavior in terms of anger or maybe something like that. But to change the thought, I mean, it's easier said than done, isn't it? I mean, changing the thought, you can change your voice, you can change your talk, the way you talk, maybe you don't talk negative things, but changing the thought is a very, very difficult process.
That is the key.
So, that is the key, but what is the technique? Technique. One, you said, of course, you watch if you are depressed, then you watch
yes,
humor movies or something like that.
But talk to people who are enthusiastic. Talk to children. Play with children. Listen to their stories. So many stories they will have. Listen to them. And the thing is, you know, I can't change anyone. I can show you the way. You have to walk the path. Anything that happens. See, what is spirituality? How can we grow spiritually? We can grow spiritually only by evolving ourselves. Not by anything else, not with mantras, not by attending any discourses, not by doing anything. We have to work on ourselves. When you say it is difficult to change the thought, it is difficult. It is. And you are imposing that again and again to your mind. When I say I can't, that means I can't. The moment I say I can, I start. That is the first step. See, we can't reach a distance without walking, without taking the first step. I actually used to weep. I used to tell my girls, please understand, I'm trying to change. Please cooperate. It was really a struggle for me. You mean to say I was this confident to talk to you? No. As a girl, I was a very chirpy girl, but somewhere I lost her. Now I am coming to in terms with that and I'm asking her to come back. Very chirpy, very confident, but I was suppressed. So many desires of mine. You will not believe, my father used to say, no cycling, no, that is only for boys. I didn't learn. That is the simplest thing I can tell you, sir. So just imagine, in all the stages of life, there were so many things that I suppressed. So the more you suppress, you get frustrated and irritated. The irritation is not towards anybody else. The irritation is towards you, but it is shown. It is manifested as irritation towards outsiders, family members. So graphology was the first step for me to enter into spirituality. I was not knowing what is even the S of spirituality. I used to read a lot. And I used to implement whatever I read in whatever understanding I had. That was the only thing I did. Yes, Ajay, you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I had written some letters.
Huh.
So I can show you like this. See. I write like this, FCPS.
Yes. My God, so much of stress.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going through quite a challenge in his personal life.
He is always stressed. For talking, he is stressed. To show sympathy, he is stressed. To take any action in sympathy, he is stressed. When he is mixing up with people socially, he is stressed. He is an epitome of stress. Please, that's not the way to write all the letters, all the letters. Your father's family is quite supportive. Is your father's family quite supportive of you?
The challenge comes from there only.
Yeah.
But he wants the support of his family. That is what that means. That's what he needs. You learn graphology. You will understand. If everywhere there is stress, you are not moving. You become stubborn. You get irritated towards yourself. Is it right?
Yeah.
See, I have not seen a script. I have just seen some letters that he is writing. Actually, to analyze handwriting, we ask for 1.5 page, anything that is written from your thoughts, no copy, no poetry. 1.5 pages of script and 3 signatures. Now with this, I can say this person is stressed to there is no end.
Yes.
Yes. There is no end. Now what happens, he seems to be very young. If this person is so stressed, he will break. He will break one day, and he is stubborn also. Hannah, you are stubborn. You won't bend. He will break. A person who is not ready to bend will only break. See, when there is strong wind or storm, most of the times the plants which are flexible will not be uprooted. The trees which are not flexible will be uprooted. Stubbornness is that. Let go of things, my dear Ajay. You are from Himachal Pradesh?
No, ma'am, Punjab.
Any other question you want to ask?
Any other question?
Okay.
Any other question?
Aditi, please come in. I'm pinning you.
See, I conduct graphology classes. I conduct 4 levels. The first level is just a 3 hours lecture. It can be done in 1 day or 2 days. And in that, we will only talk about the basics of graphology and some ideal formation of letters. Almost all letters, not all. Some letters. Then there is level 1. I'll be teaching around, we will be talking about the chakras. I'll be teaching around maybe some amount of around 27 T's, around 15, 20 I's, and all other letters. Again, next level 2, you will come to know about many of the diseases, the formations, etc. And the last level is signature analysis. So we have 4 levels. I teach like that.
So I have shared your number, Radhaji, on the screen. People who are interested.
Anybody who is interested can call
in
me.
getting in touch with Radhaji for the course or for handwriting analysis.
Anything, you
please
can just
get in touch with him.
Get in touch
with her. Sorry. Yes, Aditi, please go ahead.
Again, my daughter.
Yes.
She's in charge, I think so. Ma'am, as we are not aware 24/7, we don't know if a certain thoughts goes into our subconscious mind. If I am in an autopilot mode and I'm not aware of what's going on, and something just goes in my subconscious mind without my knowing, then how am I gonna know that it is there in my subconscious?
Be aware.
It's not possible every time.
It is possible. Be aware of your breath. First thing, be aware of your breath. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of the gap between the breath. And when you're thinking, just say, what is this? You're not required. Just be out. See, our mind thinks about so many thousands of thoughts. Is that all necessary?
No.
Read. Watch something that is making you laugh.
Radha, if you permit me, I can, tell something to this young lady.
Yes.
You see, it is like this, that you said, it is very difficult to be aware. So you can do just one small practice. As a child, you must have played the game of statue. Right?
Yeah.
So 30 times a day, call yourself statue and look back. What was the immediate thought you had in your mind? Now you see what happens, that if you just do this, you will begin to see what is your subconscious mind, what is the programming that your subconscious mind has, what kind of thoughts you entertain more and more. Now, once you know that, you can just analyze them. Most of the thoughts, when you are not aware, they would be either memory, something that is arising from the past, or if there are fears, there are anxieties, there is anticipation, and those will be of the future. Past has already happened, you can't do anything about it. Future is yet to arise, you haven't seen. So, those thoughts which really require your presence in the present moment, like your exams are on hand, you want to prepare for a particular subject, a thought about reading or a particular chapter in that subject is a thought which is going to work for you. So just this practice for a few weeks, and you will know where this pendulum, how this mental pendulum is swinging, and then you will have the handle, you will have the key to being in the center. And as Radha said, that even if something does not happen according to what you plan or you want to be, so just laugh at yourself. I failed. I couldn't do it. Oh, it is simple, but I just couldn't do it. What happens that people, when they have set targets and they want to change and they cannot do it, then they blame themselves. They say, oh my God, I just can't change. It is so difficult. The moment you say it is so difficult, I cannot change, you are giving energy to those very sanskars or those very impressions that you want to change. So the key is, it's a game. Evolution is a play. It is God's play. So take it as a play, but play wholeheartedly and enjoy the play. That's it.
Thank you so
So
much.
be an intelligent player. You know, an intelligent player, what do? They do a kind of a preparatory session where they see the strength of the opponent. So your opponent is the mind. You want to win over the mind. You see how the mind plays. Once you know how the mind plays, then you will know how to counter the mind. Or it's not about scoring a victory over the mind, it is about winning the mind over. So you win the mind over by reading the mind. But for reading the mind, you just do this simple practice. What is the kind of thought or the nature of thought that I habitually entertain? Period. So does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Okay. Now I remember one instance. Brahma Prakash ji, I used to go to TB hospital for sound healing. There, I used to play the pipes, and everybody is with a mask. Somebody asked the technique of changing the thought process. So this will help. One lady one day just raised her hand. So I went near her. I asked her, "Do you know me?" She said in Marathi, "हो, मी तुमच्या सेशनला येते. दर गुरुवारी येते. Every Thursday, I come for your session." So I said, because I am also in the mask and she also is with the mask. So I didn't recognize. So I said, "Why did you call me?" She said, "After attending your session, I did whatever you said." Light band karo na thodi der. So I asked, "What did you do?" She said, "You told me," because she told me I used to cry every day because she is infected with TB. So I used to get so emotional and I used to cry for everything, anything and everything. And I used to feel bad for myself. And then I attended your session and you told me that whenever there is a negative thought coming, bring your attention to your breath and see how you are breathing, whether you are breathing right or whether you are not breathing. Is there a gap between the breath? Is there not a gap between the breath? Whether you are breathing deeply or you are not breathing deeply. I did that, and now I don't cry. And then she said, "माझा 4 किलो वजन वाढला." So see, the feedbacks are the certificates for whatever we do. I was so happy. I said, "Can you write it and give me?" "Oh, me lihun dete." And Marathi, she did write, and that will be there with Dr. Alpa. So breathing, if you take your attention to the breath, because the mind is unable to handle two things at a time. So the moment you take your attention to the breath, the thought goes. This can be done 24 hours a day, even when you are cooking, even when you are writing, even when you are talking. Anytime when a negative thought comes, you can just take your attention to your breath. Breath is the bridge. Breath is the way to reach spirituality. Everywhere you take anyone, any saint, they have reached their ultimatum through breath. No, there is no other path. Okay, now understood the subconscious programming, how you can stop the villain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Nishi, you wanted the technique. This is the technique. Okay? Is it fine? Any more questions? Is there any more questions?
Just go ahead.
No questions?
Nobody has a question. Maybe everybody wants a reading. They don't have questions.
I would rather ask, see, reading is a bit expensive, but learning is,
It's easy.
the fees is, no, it's not easy. The fees is much lesser every level. So if you can learn graphology, you can really change your life. But you have to implement whatever we learn. We have to implement. Unless we implement, there is no point in learning. Implementing is the key. Whatever we learn, either it is change of writing. Okay, shall I share the screen? Here, I'll share the whiteboard. Can you just tell me if you can see? Can you see the whiteboard? See, there is a name people write like this. There is a name people write like this. There are people who write M like this. Yeah? All these M's are different. They have different meanings. Capital M, some people write like this. Some write like this. Some write like this. Some write like this. See, all these things will be taught in the class. There are arms like this, like a bird, like this. Everything has a different meaning. Now this first time, this person will be very proud of his academics, rather his mother. Whereas this person may not score much marks, but he will have a lot of knowledge. Knowledge in the field when he is not academically qualified. People who write M like this, it becomes very difficult for them to take decisions. See, if you have an M like this, probably your children can score very good marks in maths and logical things. There are so many things like that. See, people write T like this. Everything is different. It is all their subconscious programming. I told you just this around 57 types. T. Only one letter. Any more questions?
Tell me, Radhaji, one thing. Suppose somebody doesn't know English. He writes in Hindi or Marathi or whatever.
The concepts are same, no? Concepts are same. Hindi, Marathi, any world language. The mind is same. The strokes are everywhere. There is a dot, there is a line, there is a curve in all the languages. See now.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, 1 minute. See, in Hindi, Ka is written like this. This is the right way to write. In that, we hope there can be clean curve. Some people write like this. No. This is a different. This is different. This is different. There is a curve. There is a loop. There is a stem. Everything is there. Languages are not as important as the mind is. It is the mind who is the hero and the villain, both. Double role it plays. Yes, somebody wanted to ask a question?
Yeah, it's me, Uma.
Yes.
Yeah. Extending it to today's technological era, would this also be applicable to the type of font we use when we are using it on the computer?
It might. It is your mindset that is selecting it, no?
Thank you.
So if there are no questions, shall we close, or go ahead if you have any questions, shoot. No?
So we can close the session.
You are going to get many students.
Hope you enjoyed.
Oh, wonderful. So thank you, Radha, for such a wonderful and enlightening session. And something which seemed very mysterious, like it is a science, and it is for people in the spiritual path or any path. Every soul wants to grow in life, but a spiritualist wants to know what is hidden underneath, what are the talents which are inside, and how one finds actualization, so that the life mission is unraveled, and one can really do everything in this world that one is required to do, and yet be totally detached and away from it. So thank you for this wonderful session.
My gratitude, and I am honored. Thank you very much.
It was a totally different world opening up before us. And let us close with Shanti Path, and much gratitude to Radha.
Much gratitude to all of you for being such a wonderful participants. Thank you.
सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनो, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चिद् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Thank you everyone. We'll meet next week again.